So we're here with Josh at interVivos New Kids on the Political Block, and the speakers just wrapped up, Daniel Smith and Kjenner. So we're going to ask Josh what he thought about tonight's event. So what did you think?
Well, I mean, I thought it was really interesting because you're used to seeing these kind of conversations in kind of an oppositional sense, you know? Like typically when you have two people who aren't in the same political party, the way that they converse is they argue. And this definitely was not an argument, you know? It was a very civil and rational and nice discussion of the issues. And I think it was a lot more beneficial than, you know, the kind of conversations that we're used to seeing politically in this province. So
do you think that's a way forward that any political party in Alberta needs to go to stop the fighting and be more positive in their discussions with the public?
Well, I don't know if they necessarily need to be more positive, but I think the big thing is civility, right? And recognizing that, you know, it's okay to disagree on things. That doesn't necessarily make, you know, the other person who disagrees with you a bad person. It just means that they have a different opinion on an issue, you know? And I think that the public's kind of, you know, ready for that, you know? Like, I think that that's what they want. They're sick of people just, you know, arguing ceaselessly for almost no reason. They want people to kind of talk things out rationally to come to the best solution to the problems we're facing.
What would you do to fix voter apathy? What do you think is the main cause of voter apathy in Alberta today?
I don't know what the main cause is, but I mean, I know that one cause is that people don't feel like, you know, they have any reason to pay attention because they don't feel like there's any kind of vehicle for turning their opinion into any kind of change, right? I think there's like a lack of connection between regular people and the levers of power. So, I mean, I think that what I would do if I was Premier is, you know, look for ways to kind of reduce that distance, you know, like look for ways to make people feel like what they're trying to say or what they have to say makes a difference.
So tell us about the Alberta Party and what you do on the board.
Okay, well, the Alberta Party, for those of you who don't know, it's a relatively old party, but it's kind of taken a new direction in the last few months. And that direction is really focused around, right now, gathering input from Albertans in what we think is kind of like a new and innovative way. Like typically this has kind of been done like using town hall meetings or things like that. What we're trying to do is to talk to people face to face and engage them in conversations that aren't so much around, you know, issues like what do you think of this policy or what do you think of that policy, but more focused on, you know, what their values are, why they enjoy Alberta, what they want to see for Alberta, and things like that. And the reason why we're doing that is we think that it kind of lowers the bar for entry into these kind of conversations, you know? Because a lot of people, I think, feel intimidated when you try to talk to them about things, you know, like specific policies and whatnot, because they don't feel like they have the knowledge needed to engage in a conversation like that. So we're trying to talk to people about things they know and then help them kind of translate that into a political kind of viewpoint, I guess. So that's kind of what we're doing, and that's why it's different. And yeah, what we want to do with all these conversations is use them to kind of inform our policy and build kind of a network of Albertans who will kind of, you know, we'll be able to use to talk to about things like policy and hopefully continue that relation onward for, you know, years to come. So that's kind of what we're trying to do and what we're doing. Get out and vote!